My presentation will be on cymatics. So what is cymatics? Cymatics is the study of sound and vibration made visible. The word is from ancient Greek chyma, meaning wave. It is a subset of modal vibrational phenomena. The term was coined by Hans Jenny, who is a physician and natural scientist. It is usually on the surface of a plate, diaphragm, or membrane that is vibrated, and regions of maximum and minimum displacement are made visible in a thin coating of particles, paste, or liquid. The study of patterns produced by vibrational bodies has had a long history. One of the earliest to record was Galileo Galilei, who in 1632 wrote, "As I was scraping a brass plate with a sharp iron chisel in order to remove some spots from it, and was running the chisel rather rapidly over it, I once or twice, during many strokes, heard the plate emit a rather strong and clear whistling sound. On looking at the plate more carefully, I noticed a long row of fine streaks parallel and from one another. Scraping with the chisel over and over again, I noticed that it was only when the plate emitted the hissing noise that any mark were left upon it." In 1680, Robert Hooke, an English scientist, was able to see the nodal patterns associated with the modes of vibration of glass plates as he ran a bowl along the edge of glass plate covered with flour. Ernst Chladni was a German physicist and musician. In 1787, he repeated the work of Robert Hooke and published "Discoveries in the Theory of Sound." In this book, Chladni described the patterns seen by placing sand on metal plates, which are made to vibrate by stroking the edge of the plate with a bowl. Through 1960s, Jenny delved deeply into many types of periodic phenomena, but especially the visual displacement of sound. He pioneered the use of laboratory-grown piezoelectric crystals, and he hooked them up to amplifiers and frequency generators. The crystals function as transducers, converting the frequency into vibrations, and it is strong enough to set the steel plates into resonance. He documented much of his work in still photos, which are compiled into 2 volumes published in 1967 and 1972, and republished in 2001 as a single hardcover edition, which is this book that you can see right here. So in this project, I would like to do a DIY cymatics that you can easily do at home. The material I gathered was a speaker, a normal Bluetooth speaker, a metal plate, and some sugar. So this is the video that I made for the experiment. So I screenshotted the moments where it has a very clear pattern, and also put down the frequency corresponding to the pattern so we can have a clearer look. Oops. This is the first time I noticed a slight pattern change, and you can see on the right, soon after, it's changing a little bit. And then at 220 hertz, there's a different pattern showing up. So as you can see, there is a much more complex pattern showing up as the frequency go up. I also notice some ratio relationship between the patterns. I think these are because these patterns are developed when disruptive standing waves are formed. So when the frequency is at natural resonance with the plate, there becomes the pattern. That's why the ratio will have relationships. And when the higher frequency it is, the greater number of standing waves, and therefore the more intricate patterns. During the preparation of the experiment, I also tried out different material and shape of the plate. I also used different coating materials such as water and flour, but neither of these had a very clear pattern shown on the plate. Maybe if I had a more professional frequency generator, there will be a much clearer image. So during the research process, I also noticed some very interesting image on the internet. So this is the back of a turtle, of course. People have used similar plate shapes as a back of a turtle to conduct the experiment I have done just now. And surprisingly, the images match with the turtle back. This is an example of how we can use cymatics in real life. So people use cymatics to determine whether the shape of the violin has, or any string instrument, had the most resonance. These are mandalas. So this is an example of in Tibet, the monk draw mandalas with sand, and you can see some similarities with the shape with cymatics. This is also very similar shapes as in cymatics. This is on the window of a cathedral in UK. Continuing, this is the image of Cat Eye Nebula, which you can see some periodic kind of mirrored motion as cymatics. This is on the inner dome of a mosque in Iran, and this is Da Vinci's drawing of the secret of the golden flowers. So, are these all just coincidence, or there's actually deep relationship between these images? I have no idea. These are the references I used today for my presentation. Hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.